All right, guys, this is going to be a quick video explanation of what you have to do on this worksheet. It is due in the tray before you leave today. Sorry I'm not here. I'm in a workshop and I will be back tomorrow. So it says you're going to need to use 2-color pencils to graph your inequalities. I will be placing those in the clear box. If you don't have any, there's a big box with the markers and the pencils by the second door to the left of the room. So you can go get some there if you need that. And then you're going to also use a ruler to draw straight lines. So I will talk about using your graphing calculator like we have in the past to show the shading, and we sketch the graph, but this needs to be an accurate graph when I check. So um, when we're graphing, we start off with looking at our inequality, and that is this symbol here to determine what type of line I have. Um, we also, let me undo that. We graph it just like if we were graphing using the y-intercept form. Okay, so that is the form. I don't really have much room, so I'm just going to place it over here. Y equals mx plus b. In this form, we do the b first, the y-intercept, and then let me change my font here. Then we graph just the m, the slope. That's what we use second. So if I'm looking at this inequality here, the first one, I'm going to make mine blue here. We have to start on the y-intercept before, plot that point. And then because our slope here is 2, okay, that's the same thing as 2 over 1. So then what we're doing is we are counting up to and then to the right one and plotting that point. Let me get my pencil. So up to the right one, up to, or you can go in reverse order, which is down to the left one. And because, let me get my ruler, our inequality is greater than, that's going to let me know that my boundary line, or my line that I'm going to use, is going to have to be dash. Okay, so kind of going to go through each step, and then I'm also going to refer to the calculator to use that to check your graphing and your understanding. I will be checking for accurate points here. So this is a dash line. If you want to just put your dashes between the points, okay, but it should be a dash boundary line here. It lets me get it out the way. There we go. So one of the questions they ask, or the first part of the questions in each set, is how will you know to use dash or solid? Okay. Whenever you have less than or just greater than, it's going to be a dash line. But if you have less than and equal to, sorry, that line underneath the inequality, that solid line right there, this line right here that I'm talking about, this would be a solid line. So if you just want to put dash and solid. So this is dash with that symbol right there. That symbol is greater than, so that means we're shading above the line. So I'm just gonna take my blue highlighter, and we are shading here above, would be to the left here. Sorry about that little reminder. There we go. Like that. And then I'm gonna make my second line here. I'm gonna make that blue, right? I mean red, sorry. Make that red, sorry. So I'm gonna graph this going through the same steps. Start with the y-intercept, which is the 2 on the y-axis. So I'm gonna plot that point. And then this slope is a -2. So that means I count down 2 and then to the right one. Down 2 to the right one. Or I can count up 2 to the left one. Okay. You need about 3 to 4 points unless you run out of room. And because I see this line underneath this inequality like that, that indicates it's going to be solid. So now I'm going to take our ruler, reposition this. Oops, sorry about that. that's about right. We're gonna make a solid line. Solid line. And now we're gonna do our shading. I did it again, sorry about that. Let's take the ruler off. So because our inequality symbol here is less than, that's a less than symbol, then that means we have to shade below the line. And this would be below, like such. And so some people kind of just stop, see where they overlap, but you want to show all of it. That's to show the inequality, the shading for that line. But the overlapping is where you want to focus. So if you want to just put the capital S, a dark S, that's your solution set. So when you get into after your graphing here, the answers are going to vary on some of the sets because this is there one solution for this system of inequalities? Well, no, okay, because any point that's in this solution set or the dark region, the overlapping, um, is a solution, okay? And then it says choose an order pair here from the solution set to test it. So like if I just choose a point, I could choose, what's my point here? Negative 3, 1, 2, 3, negative 3, 4. I'm picking this point in my box right here. Okay, since I'm going to pick that point. Remember, our point is an order pair. It represents the x coordinate and the y coordinate. So what we're going to do is just substitute these numbers into the inequality and determine if it's true or false. So if I substitute, this would be 4 for the y is greater than 2 times the negative 3, that's our x, plus 4. Well, when I work this out, it's 4 greater than, this would be a negative 6 plus 4, which is 4 greater than a negative 2, and that is true. But it has to be true for both. So when I plug it into the second inequality, 4 is less than or equal to negative 2 times negative 3 plus 2, which is really saying 4 is less than or equal to negative times a negative is a positive. So 4 is less than or equal to 8. That is true. So that's just showing it algebraically. But as long as our point is in this region, then we know it's true. All right. Now, for your calculator, just kind of recap what you have to do. You can use the calculator to help you problem solve. I know we were focused on using the calculator on our scavenger hunt yesterday, but just to recap, if I want to put in our first inequality, which is 2x greater than 2x plus 4, since we're shading above, we would highlight that. All right, so we highlight this box. This is greater than that shading above, so we hit enter here. And then we get to go down. And it tells you right here, normal flow error gradient. Just press the left or right arrow to select an option. We don't need to change our color. If you want, you can, but we want to change our shading. So since this is greater than, we're going to go to the right. That makes the line darker, but one more, that shows shading above. So I'm going to say OK, hit enter. And now I can type in our equation, which was 2x plus 4. And then if we hit graph, we see that shading above like we did. So if you want to use this to help you kind of get some points, some of these equations, you can see the exact y-intercept or an exact x-intercept to help you get the line correctly. Or you could also go to, let's see, second trace, your table, and you can get points from the table as well. Okay, but what we're going to do is I'm now going to go to my second line to make sure I did this correctly. I'm going to, this one we are shading below. So that was here. And then I'm going to set the arrow down and say OK. And then now I can type in the equation, which was a negative 2x plus 2. And we're going to hit graph. And then right here where the dark region is, the overlapping, that is our solution. And we can see we did those the same way, okay? All right, so I want you to use this to go through and graph. If it's in standard form like here on number 2, you need to solve for y. So you can show your work here and then answer the question, or you want to, some people I know can write small and then write out what the new inequality is, but you have to solve for y if it's not in slope intercept form. Then when you're done with this, you're gonna have a quizzes, sorry, to do. Let me explain that. Let me go to that. Hold on. Okay, so here's the quiz. I'm just gonna preview as a student. I think you can change your settings on here. It will allow you to skip and redeem at the end. So you're gonna be given some inequalities, like this one is, which of the following matches the graph. So you can click on the graph to see. So this is a vertical line, so that has to be an X, and it's shaded to the left. So that has to be a less than, and it's dotted. So that means no equal to, no solid line. You're just matching less than a -1, and it will check, it will grade as you progress. If you miss it, you'll have an opportunity to redeem at the end. I don't think this is going to give me the option to skip. This is greater than or equal to, I believe, 3. Okay. And then make sure you know your symbols. All right. When is it solid? When is it dotted? You can use your graphing calculator to help you on some, because I know you have some graphing that you have to do here. I'm gonna pretty much doing most of the, trying to get to the, see if it'll let me skip. Oh, this is gonna be solid, so I'll do that. But when you, right here we go. So here is your equation. They want you to graph, solve for y, and then you can use your calculator to put it in and see which graph matches. Okay, so I'm not gonna require a lot of work on this because there's not that many to solve for y. You are using your strategies of looking at the shading, looking at the line to find the right match. All right, thanks for getting this done. This will be a grade. I'll see you tomorrow.